Gaber trophies. And tonight he's doing his advanced manual, Humorous Speaking, Project 4, entitled It's All About the Discipline. Please give a thunderous applause for our very own Toastmaster, Khalid Ismael.
My father envisioned his firstborn son in the spitting image of him, a tall, dark, Arab prince. And when that first son was born, he got me. Short, yellow, and cute, and absolutely hairless. But his dreams were dashed, but only momentarily, for soon it followed with 2 more sons, 2 in his image, to wipe out the contrast and oddity that is me. Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, a warm, warm good evening to you all. Expectations aside, when I was born, I felt privileged like a prince. Up until the age of 3, I did not crawl, I did not walk, I did not talk. If I wanted to move around, I had to use my walker, which incidentally had to be pushed by my father. My parents grew afraid that I would grow up to be nothing but a lazy, fat young man who would not amount to much. So they decided to change my life by giving me tough love. The first thing that they did, they took away my walker. The second thing they did was they took my milk bottle and put it a few meters away from me so that I could learn how to crawl. Then they placed me in a separate room and walked away, and not listening to my heaves of cries and calls, so that I could learn to pick myself up and walk. They would not listen to my calling of them, asking of them of questions, until I called them by their official designations of Mama and Baba. And as I grew older, not only did I have 2 respectful parents, my mother and my father, I gained 2 additional parents as I grew older, Mr. Belt and Mrs. Slipper. And I guarantee you, they gave me life lessons repeatedly in my ages from 1 to 10, which up till now, I still grow afraid of. But, Toastmasters, why do I speak of this? I thank them because of my parents, both of them and the other 2, I've learned discipline. Discipline to make me who I am today. Discipline to love, discipline to respect. As my grade school teacher said to me repeatedly back then, the secret to being a well-being person is discipline, discipline, and you, discipline. So, Toastmasters, the question is, why am I talking to you about discipline? Why? Because, I tell you, I've seen the light. I've grown old enough now. Yes, you heard it, old enough. To know that kids today lack the discipline that we used to see when we were young. These days, kids do not understand or know the fear of Mr. Belt and Mrs. Slipper. Parents have grown too scared sometimes, the current generation. They no longer discipline their children. Instead, they take them to therapy. And as a result of this, certain children, not all children, have begun to lack manners, respect, and in my case, personal space. A few weeks ago, I attended the floating bookcase ship, the Logos Hope, and I was excited. I love books. So much excited that I was in line, in an hour-and-a-half line, in the heat. And I was standing there. I had patience because I had discipline. Yes, thank you, Mr. Bell and Mrs. Slipper. Thank you. And what I did not notice was there was this evil little girl with her family right behind me who lacked all sense of discipline and personal space. Despite it being a very long line, there was adequate space. But where did she stand? She stood right behind my back, so close to me that I could feel her. I could feel her arms. I could feel her walking around. I could feel her talking. I could feel her breathing. She actually read the text off the back of my shirt with her fingers. Today is the day. And her parents did not mind. When she went to fix her sandals, she did not hold her parents' hand for balance. No, she held mine. The first thing I did was look at her, then look at the father. And the first thing I said, excuse me, let me go. So I took my hand, pulled it away, and walked. But I thought that was the end of it. But no, she persisted and she followed. And she kept doing it till I could not handle it no more. So I did what a man could do. I took my girlfriend's purse. I swung it over my shoulder. So whenever she got clear and close, I'd casually swing it this way, just so she could back off. But she did not. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I had to teach what my parents told me. So I said, excuse me. Sir, excuse me. And that was the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Toastmasters and aspiring fathers and mothers, you have to learn to discipline your kids. You got to show them Mr. Bell and Mrs. Slipper, because, as many people would sing and dance, kids are our future. But they are not innocent. Like the saying goes, it's not guns that kill people, it's the person that's holding them. The same thing with kids apply. Kids are our future. They are our hope. But they are just merely a mold of us. So for our future and our peace of mind, please, I urge you all, discipline your kids. Remember, please, respect personal space.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid, for that traumatizing speech. Now for a 10-minute break.
Time the break.